In today's video, we're going to show you how to use a padded aluminum splint, and there are many different commercially made ones, to splint an unstable ankle. Now, an unstable ankle is one that a person cannot stand up on. It has severe ligament damage or tendon damage or maybe even a broken bone. They're not going to be able to stand up, they're not going to be able to walk, and you're going to have to carry them out. So you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need a splint. Okay, these have aluminum in the center of them. They've got a little bit of foam padding on the outside, and they're very bendable, which is really important. You're going to need something to attach the splint to the person's ankle. Now, in this video, I'm going to use a roll of cloth. Now, I got this roll of cloth by cutting up a t-shirt. Rather than carrying a whole bunch of stuff in my first aid kit, I just pull out an extra t-shirt and I cut it up so that I can use it. Alternately, if I don't want to cut something up that I have, I can use a self-adhering bandage like this. They come in a whole bunch of different commercial names: Co-Band, Cohere, Vet Wrap, all sorts of different types. The thing is, they stick to one another and they're easily compressible, so if you're going to take them in a pack with you in a first aid kit, you want to make sure that when you open this up, you roll it up very tightly in a small ball and then put it in a small PVC container so that it can't get crushed while it's in your pack. Other things that you might need are a couple of sort of foam donuts that would go around the bones, the ankle bones. These I've cut from a small insulation pad. You can buy them commercially, or you could even roll up an individual sock and fill in that space that's around those bones. And then we have an extra pair of socks that I'll end up using for more padding. A lot of times in the outdoors on a multi-day hike, or even sometimes on a day hike, I take an extra pair of socks to change my socks during the day if there's going to be a river crossing or something along those lines. So I have an extra pair of socks with me. I would use that to help pad the splint. You need to mold the splint first. You figure out where halfway point is and open it up, put that about on your ankle and just adjust it so that you got basic halfway there. Gives you, doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to curve and mold the top half of this splint, about the top third or so of it, into a little curve. Just like that. And then you're going to do the same to the other side. The curve gives it strength. Then I'm going to take my socks and use it on the splint. Clean up the molding a little bit. And now I'm going to take and twist that top part that I molded just towards the inside a little bit, like that. Put this back on my foot, align it. Now when I put this on, what's important is when I put it on her foot, I'm going to want to make sure it's right around the ball of her foot. I don't want it all the way back by the heel. I want it up here by the ball of the foot. And this little bit of overlap is fine. You actually want that. Don't try to mold this like this, because that'll put a hinge in it. Just leave it just like that. And essentially what you end up with is something that looks a little bit like a stirrup. I'm going to set that off to the side. Take her foot. Let's lift this up here for a minute. Right here, I'm going to pull this up. And I'm going to slide these pads so they go over underneath her sock and right over top of her ankle. I'm going to leave her shoe on. That'll add some protection. So I'm feeling for her ankle bone right here and making sure that this is going to go all the way down. And the other one, where's the other one? May have to slide part of her shoe off a little bit to get this as far down as I need it to go. Okay. Put this on her leg. Her foot's smaller than mine, which is no problem. I'll just line it right up. Can you pull the pant leg down? And then hold on to the top of this for me. Pull it up. One hand on each side. One hand on each side. Slide that down a little bit more. And then I'll take my wrap. You want to start the wrap right around at the ankle area. And take a couple turns to secure it. Keep pulling up on that, please. Point it here. And then you want to come around underneath and do a figure of 8 wrap. Set this back down again. Pull it snugly, but not super tight. Cover the entire splint. Come back down to the bottom and figure 8 again. When you get to this point, you can cut down the center or tear down the center, so you have 2 separate little tails there. Take a knot like that, snug everything up, wrap it around, tie it off so if it gets hooked on something, it doesn't come off. Make sure that everything is molded well, and you've got a good solid. Her ankle doesn't go anywhere. It's well supported, and she's not going to walk on it. Remember, you're going to carry her out. Okay?